we just finished A Wrinkle in Time. That is movie number 11. I just looked it up.
Did you?
Yes, I looked it up. It's movie number 11. Oh, see, when I don't say 90 anymore, it's weird. 89 down. Nope, that did. Damn. I had it in my head and I was going to say it, but then I totally messed up. 11 down, 89 again. The movie started at 9:30. We got there at like 9:40. We got tickets. Stella's movie pass had some issue, and then we got there. We saw one preview. And there was, of course, like I said, there always at least a 2 gap in between people, so we were able to find a 2 gap in the middle of the theater. So good on Stella.
This only happens because I get in before you because you need to use the restroom.
Well, I was gonna go to the bathroom today. I usually do if we're running later. I didn't think there were gonna be as many people as there were because it's
That's pretty full.
Yeah, it's pretty full. We watched a Tuesday night showing at 9:30, so I thought there would be less people. Anyways, what do you give it?
It's a sideways thumb.
Oh, Stella gave it a sideways thumb.
This is my second sideways thumb.
That's your second sideways thumb? What would you rank it in the overall scale?
It's above the other sideways.
I think the other sideways thumb was Annihilation, if I remember.
Yeah, I think Annihilation. They're very similar. They have a little wrinkly thing and then a shimmery thing.
They're similar in the fact that they use one thing that looks similar.
Yes, where they walk through.
It's like saying, you know, stories are the same because they use lots of the same words.
Or the same
Little suspect.
Plot, the same, whatever. So it's okay. It looked really pretty, but it kind of lacked substance. Like,
Oh.
what?
Those are harsher words than you usually use, and I was also going to point out it lacks substance, but that's like so ironic because a book is only a good book because it has substance.
So I only read the first chapter.
Oh, you read it? I forgot.
No, I read the first chapter.
Yeah, Stella took it from our little neighborhood library, and she never read it.
I did read it.
She read the first chapter. That's okay.
I don't know if I'll continue reading it though.
There's no
but
point
it's
now,
a
right?
really slow book. Like
Oh, is it?
It starts out. The first line is, "It was a dark and stormy night," and she's
That's like the start of like so many things.
It's a famous start. I forgot what it's from, but it starts with the whole. It's windy and she had to go down, and Charles Wallace is there with milk ready for her.
Okay.
But they cut out a lot of people, like they were twins. Like she had twin brothers that weren't in it either.
Does that detract from the movie because it has not as many things from the book? Even though you only read the
so
one
like there's
chapter?
a lot more things in the book that it could draw from.
But does that add substance to the book that lacks in the movie?
I have no idea. I feel like they should have. I don't know where the characters go after that. That they've mentioned.
Yeah, that's why I continually ask you. So
it made it a point to say that what type of characters they are and how they relate to her as people.
So the movie was worse because it had less things from the book.
I don't know if it's worse because I don't really know anything about
Why do
them.
you
I
keep
just
bringing it
know
up?
that they take a lot of things out, like 2 characters. I don't even know if they're important. But it seemed long. How long was it?
See, Stella thought the movie seemed long.
Well, it's just because it was slow and there were a lot of like looks. Like they just kind of look at each other for a very long time, lots of times in the movie.
A Wrinkle in Time was 1 hour and 15 minutes. Ooh, minutes. So, yeah, there's no movie that's an hour and 15 minutes. So, lacking, and then you said, so pacing was not good, you said, and then lacking, and story plot.
But it looked pretty. Like
See, I would disagree.
You don't think it looks pretty?
So, I thought there were things that were like visually nice to look at.
So like, yeah, I can see it all in like pictures or like these very
like,
short segments, but
I did not, so in my mind, there are things that can be like over CGI'd. And I don't, and that's what a lot of these scenes kind of felt like, and I didn't like it. So like when they first land and wherever they land, it was like, oh yeah, cool landscape, but like the color saturation and whatnot, I didn't, whatever. Little flower things were okay. And then like Reese Witherspoon turns into a manta ray. And I heard someone Chatty Cathy's again next to me. Just theaters, right? If that's you, don't talk during the movie. It really messes it up. Stella used to do it, and then I told her to stop doing it.
To you?
To me.
I don't just generally stop doing it.
Yeah.
I don't
Like
do
it
to
just,
you.
I do not. Just not what I wanted to do in a movie.
But okay, this only applies in the theaters. He can ask all the movie questions in the world during like home.
At home, you can pause it. Like Netflix, you just pause. All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Unpause. It really sucks. At home when we watch a movie, I go to the bathroom like 3 times.
In one sitting.
Because I'm drinking water, like actively drinking water throughout the movie. Not the point. They said that she turned into like a piece of lettuce. She kind of looked like lettuce. But in my mind, it looked like it looked like the Disney character. Do you know what I'm talking about? That weird Disney thing in the World of Color display?
Yes, the green one.
Yeah, it looked like the green thing.
I feel like that's from something. Isn't that from like Fantasmic?
I don't know.
Or Fantasia?
But like it reminded me of the Disney thing. I was like, wait, what? I'm confused. So those scenes, they kind of missed with me where they like, I didn't like it. It was too much. And then
it's just that whole thing, like they go fly up to go look at something. Why don't they all fly somewhere to look?
Oh yeah, no, I didn't appreciate that. So in my mind, what it was is people make fun of Lord of the Rings because it had like a lot of travel, and like they walk and walk and walk.
I walked out. It's just so boring.
Yeah, but like it leads to a thing. Like it's to show how arduous the journey is in terms of walking. Because like to go from the Shire to Mordor, I think that's where they went. It's like it's a long thing, and they're freaking little. Yeah, and they're hobbits and they're tiny little feet.
So many things.
But that's the entirety of the movie. The entirety of the movie is the travel. It's how arduous it is to get there, and how much of a burden it is for a little hobbit to like with his tiny feet. And it's so.
I feel like they have big feet. They're just tiny.
Very smart, Stella. They have big feet and they're small people. The big feet allows them to like walk really quietly.
Feet?
It's a thing in the book. They walk really quietly because they got whatever. Not the point. But this one, like, they just wanted to show things like that to like showcase how pretty the movie looked. And like with it's like Life of Pi. I didn't like Life of Pi because of that. And so I do have a tendency to not like these things in movies.
You don't like pretty movies. The point to make it artistic.
No, I'm okay with artistic movies. It's just like
but it doesn't do anything.
To me how realistic it looks.
I'm just saying that they make it a point. Like that's the point, to make it pretty and like artsy.
It's not realistic though. And that's the thing though.
That doesn't need to be realistic. It just looks really visually appealing.
To me,
that's the point. You're saying there's no point of having it.
No, that is not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I didn't like the way it was done because it's just the way the color looks and how super CGI'd it looked, and it obviously was CGI'd.
So realistic. It's on a different.
What it is it comes down to a preference and taste in terms of taste of what you like. So it's not something I enjoy. I don't like the way it was done. And I think this movie tried to do too much of that, and by doing that, it tried to cover up for like a huge lack in like plot and development. I don't know how it develops in the book, but like
I don't understand. They found the dad, or the whole thing is to find the dad, but it didn't seem very hard.
No, not at all.
Like,
exactly.
No,
it gets kind of ex machina at the end.
Things that they were supposed to figure out.
In terms of like pacing, I didn't think it was super slow paced. I did think it was slow for what happened during the time. Again, that's a constant thing I bring up.
Drawn out.
Yeah, and like unnecessarily so. Like Red Sparrow felt long. Like I think that was paced kind of thing, long. And A Wrinkle in Time was a little slow, but like it was the fact that they didn't do much in each scene. And again, I watched this movie with a prejudice because it was rated lower, and I thought that would make it so I would be more okay with it. Like Superman versus Batman, it was rated pretty low, but when I finished watching it, I was like, that was actually okay. It wasn't as terrible as I thought it was.
Different version.
I watched the extended cut where it kind of elaborates on certain things that were lacking in the original. With that, like, I didn't like most of I just didn't think it didn't entertain me. I didn't think it was acted well. And that's not necessarily the fault of the actors. I always think that's the director's fault. Yeah.
I started being really bored because I was like,
bored. See, it was kind of boring.
It's going to take forever to play through, and I'm like, this is.
And it didn't. Also, like music really matters to help set the scene and bring up like tension. And like, I didn't feel any of that. There wasn't like tension going to the darkness. There wasn't any of that. Same thing with Red Sparrow. The way the music played, the type of music, and then how they used it. It didn't build up tension. It didn't feel like, oh, it's super hard to do this and this is a super difficult journey. Yeah, so the music I didn't like it the way it was used. So without that feeling of like tension or like, oh no, it's so hard. Are they gonna get on back? This is such a hard, tough scene. That makes it so that the resolution is less satisfying in the end. Like you didn't feel like it was tense or hard to do to start with. And so therefore when it's done, it's just kind of like, oh, they did it. Well, that's how I felt, at least for this particular movie. Again, it's a sideways thumb for me. That's what I.
Is it on the lower sideways side?
Oh yeah, it's definitely on the bottom.
Of your 11
Two.
movies?
That and Red Sparrow. I would say this is above Red Sparrow. So, yeah, and like in my mind, you shouldn't try to make a movie visually stunning unless you have a really solid foundation. That's icing on the cake. But if you have a bad foundation, a pretty movie is not going to make up for anything. It's just like, oh, that was cool, you know. But you really should have just done pictures then.
Pictures, like a book?
You should have just made it into a picture and tried selling the picture, like a literal picture. Just make whatever you're CGIing into a picture and sell it.